The thing about working with Harpo, such a darling man,
was our great thing. That and the fact that we had an audience always as a barometer.
Laughter was survival. Lucille Ball understood that from the beginning, not the polite laughter of drawing rooms, the deep, belly-aching laughter that made people forget their troubles for 30 minutes.
How about Hamlet giving Ophelia a nice big kiss, huh?
Well,
Huh?
no, I couldn't really.
For 60 years, Ball fought to make people laugh, and Hollywood fought her every step of the way. They told her she wasn't pretty enough, wasn't glamorous enough, wasn't anything enough. She spent 15 years as the queen of B-movies, taking whatever roles they gave her. Then the radio showed her something films couldn't. Her gift was physical comedy. That audience needed to see her face, her timing, her willingness to look ridiculous. But Ball didn't invent herself. She learned from masters, from silent film legends who understood that comedy is architecture, from fellow performers who saw potential when studios saw nothing, from friends who told her to take chances when every instinct screamed play it safe.
bright and so darling, he was a great musician, great artist.
These 10 actors built the foundation Lucy stood on. Some taught her technique, others taught her courage. A few taught her that women could be funny and still be taken seriously. Without them, there is no I Love Lucy, no Desilu, no Revolution. 10. Vivian Vance. Ethel Mertz made Lucy Ricardo funnier.
Yes, sir, and I'm going to be a godfather.
And I'm going to be a godmother.
Uh-huh.
That's the secret nobody talks about. Vivian Vance didn't compete with Lucille Ball. She elevated her. Every scheme needed a partner. Every disaster required a witness. Vance gave Ball someone to play off, someone who understood comedic rhythm as instinctively as Ball did.
If Vivian would still be with us.
What made Vance special wasn't just talent, it was generous. She could have demanded more spotlight. She had the chops. But Vance understood the show's architecture. Lucy was the star. Ethel was the foundation. Without foundation, the building collapses. Vance protected that structure for 6 seasons, then signed on for the Lucy show. Then here's Lucy. Ball trusted Vance completely. On set, they moved like dancers, each knowing where the other would be, what beat they'd hit. That kind of partnership can't be manufactured. Ball knew it. That's why she kept calling Vance back. Some actors you work with once, others you can't work without. 9. William Frawley Fred Mertz was nobody's first choice. Lucille Ball wanted Gale Gordon. CBS wanted someone younger.
No, never mind that. I mean, how much do you think we should use for 4 people?
They settled on William Frawley, a crusty vaudevillian with decades of experience and a reputation for drinking.
Well, Gale was the only one, really, that I was rather insistent about.
Ball was skeptical. Then they started filming, and Frawley proved everyone wrong. What Frawley brought was authenticity. He lived Fred Mertz's life, the vaudeville circuits, the failed dreams, the marriage that aged into something resembling affection. He didn't have to act grumpy. He was grumpy. That truth made everything work. The foursome needed a cynic, someone to ground Lucy's chaos in reality. Frawley delivered that without trying. Ball learned something crucial from Frawley. That chemistry matters more than perfection. That sometimes the wrong choice becomes the right one because it's real. Frawley and Vance hated each other off camera. It didn't matter. On camera, they were magic. Ball understood. Great television requires honest performances. Frawley gave her that every single time. 8. Desi Arnaz marriage to Desi Arnaz nearly destroyed Lucille Ball, but partnership with Desi saved her career.
Alice and Theodore. Theodore. Yeah. These are dogs?
People forget he wasn't just her husband. He was a producer, a businessman, a visionary who understood television's potential when everyone else was guessing.
We wanted to work together, and Lucy was doing a radio show called My Favorite Husband.
Desi invented the 3-camera technique, insisted on filming I Love Lucy instead of broadcasting live. Those decisions created modern television. Ball admired Desi's intelligence, his refusal to accept limitations. When CBS said audiences wouldn't accept a Cuban, Desi proved them wrong. When networks said you couldn't own your content, Desi built Desilu. Ball watched him negotiate, fight, win. She learned the business side from watching Desi operate. Their marriage failed. Too much fame, too much pressure, too many women for Desi. But the professional partnership changed entertainment forever. Ball became the first woman to own a studio because Desi showed her how. That gift outlasted the heartbreak. Always. 7. Gale Gordon. Gale Gordon was Lucille Ball's favorite straight man.
Cigar on the floor. Do you like sloppiness? Pick it up! Pick it up! Move it! Pick it up!
Period. She wanted him for Fred Mertz. He was committed elsewhere. So Ball waited, got him for the Lucy show.
One like that, and I think it shows very much because I know I am always at ease.
Then here's Lucy. Finally, life with Lucy. 4 decades of partnership because Ball understood what Gordon brought. Perfect comedic timing wrapped in dignified exasperation. Gordon never tried to be funny. That's what made him hilarious. He played every role completely straight while Ball created chaos around him. His incredulous stares, his slow burns, his ability to deliver absurd lines with absolute conviction. That contrast made the comedy work. Ball needed someone to represent normalcy, to show audiences what sanity looked like. Gordon did that better than anyone. When Ball came out of retirement for Life with Lucy, Gordon was retired. She called anyway. He said yes, because after working together for 24 years, they spoke the same language. That's loyalty. That's respect. 6. Bob Hope. Bob Hope and Lucille Ball made 4 films together.
You worried me in the beginning. Toward the end, I didn't care.
Each one taught Ball something new about comedy. Hope came from vaudeville, radio, stand-up. He understood timing in his bones. Ball watched him work and learned how to punch a joke.
He managed to make me look good in 4 pictures we did together. I love Lucy. We all do. Here she is, the bionic woman of comedy.
How to let silence do the work, how to make it look effortless. What Ball admired most was Hope's professionalism. He showed up prepared, hit his marks, never waste time. That efficiency matched Ball's own work ethic. She demanded perfection from herself. Hope demanded it too. When they worked together, neither settled for good enough. Their friendship lasted 50 years. Hope was her final appearance, the 1989 Academy Awards. Both received standing ovations. Ball died a week later. Hope spoke at her funeral, called her the greatest, because legends recognize legends. And Hope knew exactly what Ball had accomplished, what she'd sacrificed, what she'd built from nothing. 5. Red Skelton. Red Skelton showed Lucille Ball that clowns could be artists. Skelton came from circus and vaudeville, trained as a physical comedian when physical comedy meant risking your body for laughs. Ball watched Skelton perform and saw possibilities she'd never considered. That comedy could be vulnerable, could be touching, could make you cry while you laughed. Skelton became one of Ball's mentors, taught her about pacing, about how to structure a sketch, how to create characters instead of just telling jokes. The Ball absorbed everything, started developing her own character work. The Lucy persona that would make her famous came partially from watching Skelton create his Freddie the Freeloader. They remained friends for decades. Skelton understood what Ball was building, supported her when television was still finding itself. Ball never forgot that early encouragement, called Skelton one of the greatest comedians who ever lived. She meant it, because Skelton showed her that funny could also be profound. 4. The Marx Brothers room service put Lucille Ball opposite the Marx Brothers.
Pardon me while I step into the closet.
And get a load of this. If
She played the straight role. The person's chaos happened around. She wasn't supposed to be funny, just a present. But Ball watched Groucho, Chico, and Harpo work and learned something crucial. That comedy is controlled chaos. That what looks spontaneous is actually precisely planned. Harpo Marx became a lifelong friend. Ball loved his sweetness. His silence on screen exploded into warmth off camera. Harpo's physical comedy influenced Ball's own approach. She studied how he used his body, how every gesture meant something. When Harpo guest starred on I Love Lucy years later, Ball called it a career highlight. The Marx Brothers taught Ball about comic freedom, about trusting your instincts, about committing completely to the bit no matter how ridiculous. That fearlessness became Ball's signature. She would try anything, risk looking foolish, because the Marx Brothers showed her that looking foolish was the job. 3. Katharine Hepburn. Lucille Ball worked with Katharine Hepburn on Without Love.
Why, when I played in Twelfth Night, even the...
Oh, did you play in Twelfth Night?
Yes,
A Spencer Tracy film where Ball had a supporting role. But what stayed with Ball wasn't the part. It was watching Hepburn command a set. Hepburn took no nonsense, knew what she wanted, fought directors when they were wrong. That confidence fascinated Ball. Hepburn represented something Ball wanted: respect, not as a comedian, as an actress. Someone taken seriously. Hepburn fought for decades to be seen as more than a pretty face. Won 4 Oscars, never compromised. Ball watched and learned that women could have power in Hollywood if they were willing to fight for it. Years later, when Ball ran Desilu, she remembered Hepburn's example: the refusal to accept less than she deserved, the willingness to walk away from bad deals. Ball applied those lessons, became the first woman to own a studio. Hepburn showed her it was possible. Ball proved it. 2. Buster Keaton. Everything changed when Buster Keaton saw Lucille Ball bite a celery stalk. One simple moment, perfect timing. Keaton recognized what MGM missed. That Ball was a physical comedian trapped in glamour girl roles. He approached her. I offered to help. Ball said yes. That decision saved her career. Keaton became Ball's most important mentor, taught her everything about physical comedy, how to use props, how to take a fall without getting hurt, how to make the impossible look easy. Keaton came from silent films, where your face and body told the entire story. He passed that knowledge to Ball, showed her how to make every gesture count. When CBS doubted that Ball and Desi could work together on television, Keaton choreographed their vaudeville act, the cello sketch, the one that convinced CBS to greenlight I Love Lucy. Keaton gave Ball the tools to become a star. She never forgot it. Keaton visited the I Love Lucy sets, offered suggestions, appeared on later specials. Their friendship lasted until his death. Ball called him the master, said she owed him everything, because Keaton saw her talent when nobody else did, believed in her when she was ready to quit. Without Keaton, there's no Lucy. It's that simple. He saved her, then helped her change television forever. 1. Carole Lombard. Lucille Ball worshipped Carole Lombard.
I told Jeeves to lay out my other coat.
You have a wonderful...
When people called Ball the Queen of Comedy, she refused the title, said it belonged to Carole. That tells you everything. Lombard represented everything Ball wanted to be: beautiful, funny, taken seriously. Lombard made screwball comedies when screwball comedies were Hollywood's most sophisticated genre. She was glamorous and goofy simultaneously. That combination seemed impossible. Lombard proved it wasn't. They became friends at RKO. Lombard was a star. The Ball was nobody. It didn't matter. Lombard saw something in Ball, encouraged her, gave advice, told her to take chances. When Lombard died in a plane crash in 1942, Ball was devastated, lost her role model, her friend, her proof that women could be funny and powerful. But Lombard didn't leave. Ball claimed Lombard appeared in her dreams for years. The most famous dream came in 1951. Ball was deciding whether to do I Love Lucy, terrified it would fail. Lombard appeared and told her, "Take a chance, honey. Give it a whirl." Ball listened, made the show, changed television history. Real or not, that dream mattered, because it shows who Ball turned to in moments of doubt. Not executives, not her husband. Carole Lombard, the woman who showed her that funny women could be legends. Ball spent her career proving Lombard right, and never stopped thanking her. Lucille Ball didn't become a legend by accident. She learned from masters, studied them, absorbed their lessons, then added her own genius. These 10 actors gave her the tools. Ball built the empire. Who's your favorite on the list? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more studio insights.